More secret lies and deception are revealed on episode 4, Reasonable Doubt. Oh my goodness. Listen, we're going to get into it, y'all, but I just got to know. I just got to know. Why did Lewis, like Jack's daddy, snatch his chain like that?
Why you tripping, Debo?
Yes, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Lawrence Report. Oh my God, poor Lewis. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. But listen, we do find out this right here. The person that was touching Ozzie since he was 13 was actually the one and only Monica. Unfortunately, she was putting on that P Valley, aka Brandy. She's putting on that P Valley on this poor young child. Oh my God. And I told y'all this also. I told y'all this right here. I said in all my lives and all my review, y'all can go back and watch the tape. I said it's going to be a matter of time before Naima ends up finding out about that little Jalen Hurts jersey. And she did. I knew that it was a reason why they kept that Jalen Hurts jersey there, and he decided to bring the jersey back home. Oh my God. Let's get into it, y'all. Reasonable Doubt. Episode 4 was a banger. It was very emotional. You know what I'm saying? Very emotional episode, but also revealed a lot of truth, secrets, and lies. Listen, we're going to dive right into it. So, on episode 4 of Reasonable Doubt, I got to start off with Ozzie. You know, when it came to Ozzie, we was wondering who was the person who abused him. And we also know that Jax and the team is like, listen, we believe that the court of public opinion may be softer on you if they found out the truth about your abuse. We saw in the early stages of the episode, she brought in that old lady. And the old lady was, you know, when Jackson questioned her, she said, well, how would you feel if he found out that he was abused? And she was like, oh, I would pray for Ozzie now. Like my whole spectrum of how, you know, I kind of didn't like him, it kind of changed now, right? Because now the abuse factor is going to lighten up people's minds, right? And that's what the game plan is. Even in the courtroom, as they go to court in this episode, that's what Jax is getting ready to do, her and Bill, right? So now, the entire time, it was Monica. Monica was abusing Ozzie. He tried to resist her. This happened since he was 13. She's out here supplying the drugs. And it's a sad situation because he's caught up. He's caught up and he don't know what to do. He's trying to resist this temptation so bad. And we should have known it was her, the way she was acting. But then again, I didn't know myself. But and also, when it was revealed, you know, who touched Ozzie, and, you know, Ozzie mentioned that was a woman, you know, it was very emotional for the mother. The mother was here crying. Jax was very emotional, eyes watery. You know what I'm saying? I think she feels like that could have been her son. You know, her son is, you know, trying to grow up as well. That could happen to any child almost, right? And the mom and the dad's like, yo, we would have, wish you would have told us. We would have supported you early. Like, you know, we would have done all we could have done to support you if you would have just came out sooner. But Ozzie was like, I didn't know how to say. I didn't know how to process what was happening to me. And now we have to talk about Naima. Let's talk about Naima. Now we know that, you know, a lot is going on with Jax and the family, you know, and Naima's being a typical teenager, walking in the house, slamming the door. It's like, yo, who do you slam the door on? You know what I'm saying? Jax and the hubby Lewis, they just got done getting smashing, right? You know, they had a little free window to smash, right? They thought everything was in the clear. Turns out she pulls out that Jalen Hurts jersey. It's like, yo, y'all lied to me. She said, Daddy, you had opportunity to tell me the truth about the situation with my best friend. My best friend mom was pregnant. Then she wasn't pregnant. And now we got Spencer also back. And Spencer is caught in this right here as well. He's hurting. But Naeem was hurting more, I feel like, because Jax even mentioned like the hurt and the look in the baby girl eyes was absolutely sad, right? And now Naima is broken. I truly feel like they're both broken. But the kids do kind of get the revenge on the parents a little bit, right? Because whenever the daddy, they're trying to get the granddaddy to be gone, right? But the granddaddy comes over unexpectedly over to the house, and he's making TikToks. He gives them money, and you know when they find that out, you know that's when the kids kind of spin the block on the parents, let them know, oh yeah, we met grandpa, and the parents are pissed off about that, right? So I feel like the kids was getting some type of revenge on, you know, the parents. But poor Naima, I hate this for her. Like, it is such a sad situation when you think about it. And I'll talk about Bill quickly. When it comes to Bill, you know, he is, you know, with Bill, he's trying to get his girl back, right? He's trying to get his woman back. He got the date mixed up about anniversary, about the wedding, all that right there. He even mixed up and bought his old lady the wrong set of flowers, right? So now it's like, man, I got this case coming up. I would like to see the kids. I want to bring him back a little bit early. He does that. He takes them on an adventure. He finally got a chance to basically spend time with his kids. So he's happy about that right there. And they kind of hinted at like maybe the Bill's old lady and him kind of wanted to smash a little bit because he bought her some oxtails. And oxtails, you know the thing about oxtails? That's not a cheap meat. Oxtails they cost a pretty penny at the end of the day, right? So shout out to Bill for trying to get back his lady. Stalker Bill, the one and only. Also, we've got to talk about this right here. We got Sally and the one and only Jax. Sally and Jax, they are celebrating. All the girls there. All the girls are there. They're celebrating, having a good time. But Dr. Owens comes out and she's Autumn Owens. She's like, yo, I'm expecting. I got a bun in the oven. Everybody, oh, congratulations. Happy. She's like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom break. I gotta pee, right? And Sally says, yo, like, I have been smashing Chris like crazy. He's so upset about the house situation, but this is some of the best, wood I had in my life. And then Jack's like, how do you know he not smashing somebody else if y'all kind of like separated? And Sally like, you know what? You always have been a hater. You've been a hater since high school. Jack's like, not quite. You've always been a hoe. It would be keeping it honest since high school. And them two was about to. I thought they was getting ready to clash, right? But of course, the rest of the girls come back to the dinner table and they try to make it seem cool. Like who's gonna be? I think they said who's gonna be the godmother or something like that. They try to make it seem cool. I'm like, yo, creative. I love that scene right there. Very, very good scene. And now I'll juggle back to Lewis, right? Let's get back to Lewis. Now, Lewis and his friend Sam. Sam has been lying about coding, right? He can't do the C++. And this kind of reminds me of a lot of times you be trying to look out for somebody on a job, but Sam was using that black card. And this also reminds me of a lot of times when you lie on your resume, right? You lie on the resume, and then it was time to do the real thing, you're in trouble. We know that Sam was eventually going to throw Lewis underneath the bus because he's like, oh, so if y'all let me go, I ain't gotta do the extra training. The boss man's like, wait, what extra training? We'll let HR handle this right here. So now Sam is throwing Lewis underneath the bus, but eventually I do appreciate Lewis putting his foot down on Sam, saying, listen, if you don't do this right here, you're going to get a write-up, right? And back in court, right? Back in court, we know that they're going to try to drag Ozzie, the court of public opinion, the court of real life. But Jax and Bill, they got a few tricks up their sleeve. So I can't wait to see how the court scenario plays out. They kind of tease a little bit right here with this episode, but we haven't got like a whole episode typically like we will get where it's strictly dedicated to the court system. So we will see how that goes down. And Daniel, we'll talk about Daniel. Daniel has been spellbounded. Daniel is in love, I think, with Ozzie's sister. There's a one scene where they're talking, and he's supposed to be getting intel, right? But he ends up, I thought they was gonna kiss whenever her head fell onto the shoulder. I was like, oh. But she's also withholding information, and Daniel was also withholding information as well. Now we know that Daniel's been set to spy on Ozzie, right? And he claims that he forgot a book back at Ozzie them house, but really we find out that Ozzie been journaling, right? So we need to know what's in these journals. And it turns out in these journals, of course, we end up getting the information about, Wendy, about old girl who's molesting him. Like we get all the intel, Monica. We get all the intel about all that right there. He reveals it basically, and it's about to go down. Like, of course, we end up getting Ozzie there, trying to resist the temptation. Crazy, mind-blowing situation at the end of the day. And one of my favorite parts, I saved this for last right here. Lewis and the daddy, Jack's daddy. Lewis decided to pull up on the daddy, right? Because Lewis wanted the daddy gone. Then nobody asked Lewis to do this. Lewis decided to do this on his own. Lewis pulled up, yo, OG, we need to talk. I need you to get out of town. OG's like, yo, what you talking about, young fella? Like, who you think you're stepping to me? And OG comes and read him for filth. Like, he's like, yo, I knew you're not coming up here to talk to me. You can't, like, your name is not even on the contract. Your name's not even on the contract all the house that you are living in with my wife. Like, what are you talking about? Like you let your wife get bent over. You know what I'm saying? He spilled all the tea about Jax and who he think he is, and Lewis comes back like, yo, at least I was man enough. I didn't walk out. Yada yada yada. Oh my God! Listen, Lewis, you didn't win that one, brother. I gotta keep it a bean. The daddy cleared Lewis. Lewis was left for dead. Like, what can I say? Like, he even told Lewis, he said, you better get back to that little job playing on video games. You better go back coding and whatever you was doing, right? It's like, as a matter of fact, you need to go home and cook dinner for my lady, for my daughter, right? Because typically in these episodes, what do we see? Who's cooking dinner most of the time? It's usually Lewis, right? Lewis is usually the one cooking the dinner first. Then Jax comes home sometimes. Sometimes they cook dinner, but it's usually Lewis cooking the dinner. So they try to tell Lewis that he was basically a wife at home while Jax was making all the money. I don't know what to say. Don't want to say. I mean, you can't come back from that, but that's basically how the episode ends, of course, with Ozzie, Monica trying to resist him. He's being molested. He comes out, he tells his truth. Jax believes that, by him telling the truth, in the court, when he gets out, of course, in the public, that people will feel even more sorry for him because they feel like he was molested, and maybe he actually can get off trial. Maybe he won't have to go to jail. Maybe if he does, maybe the sentence will be lighter. But she's hoping that this will soften people's hearts at the end of the day when it comes about Ozzie. The Reasonable Doubt, episode 4, y'all. That was a banger. That was a banger episode. As always, thank you for tuning into the Lawrence Report.